Right, yesterday we dried off about 120 February calving cows. Got a few more to dry off, but I thought I'd dry them off in stages because we do get one or two slip when we do large batches, so 120 is large enough, plenty large enough. We've had one cow calve already. One we just dried off is calved. It's calved a month early. Calves alright, little calf, but it's all there, like not that premature. It's got all its fur and everything. So we put that cow back on the calf. Pain in the ass really, because we're gonna have to hold that milk back now for bloody a long time. But and we got one calf to feed, probably for a month. I might have one or two. We never had nothing last year, but I think the year before we had one or two really early. But we're going to carry on milking through, so it's not going to be too much of a pain because the cow's going to go in with the milkers. So this is the dry cows here. I'm just walking through. I just got to walk around them like really steady and study them all, because you don't want nothing clotting out, because a lot of these have had dust sealant in those dry cow tubes. So like that one there, see, is that nothing? So I just got to really walk around and study them, because it's been one day now. So we tomorrow, the next day, the day after, they will start to dry up. But I see one or two are starting to bag up a little bit. So you just got to spend time walking around them, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just really studying them and walking around them. And just looking for the one spot, anything in the corner shed with his head down. It is early days. If it's going to happen, it's going to be like tomorrow or next day or the day after. There's a load of them sat down there. We bed them up twice a day, these dry cows, and we put lime in with a bed in too. Be safe. They're really nice and clean, what I like. Teats are nice and clean, even though we're having this like warm, wet harbour weather. Could have done with the cold weather really, but it is what it is, I suppose. There's another shed over here. They all look pretty settled. Got one at the back there with tail pop. I think he's only poo. There you go, there's the other shed. Right, so here's some hay in a rack, what we're feeding. This is like July stuff, what we got off some like higher tier ground, what you're not allowed to cut till 1st of July. So that's ideal for them. They are eating it well. So they're on pretty much all hay. Got a tractor and chopper in the background, ready to go tomorrow morning. Keeping it on, Tim's giving a little clean off. So because all the sheds are full of animals now, we've got a stack of straw outside, so we just run on 2 loads at a time. We get through about a load and a little bit once a week, so a lot of straw we're using. But now's the time. Slap straw on now when you've dried them off, and then when they start calving. There's the tractor there. He's ready to go for the morning. He's even got a bell in the back, ready to go, so he's all set. See, a lot of them there too, they ain't got no other. They've dried it nice. I seen one here just a minute ago, backed out quite tight. A lot of them, I reckon early February we're going to have a busy time. It usually is in February, but I think it's going to kick off quite this year. There's a few there, see, destroyed that. Got nothing on them. That one's had tubes, that one with yellow tape. Probably because she was reading high cell count on her milk test, or whatever. Before she's had last time. There's one there, see. Bagged up. Hopefully it'll calm down. A fairly oldish cow there. She's had tubes. Penicillin tubes, I just want to see tubes. What we will start doing when we get near the calving date, probably about 15th of January onwards, start putting mag in the water and put a few mag mineral tubs here and there for the cows. And then that'll sort them out. And then we've got like bottles of calcium and that ready to go. But touch wood, we don't get much of a calcium problem. We do get mag. I reckon this farm lacks mag big time. So what we got is we got a dosatron linked up to the water system. And then when the cows go out in the field, we've got like a big 200-gallon drum, and that's full of liquid mag. And that feeds into all the water troughs, because we've got these big 12-foot water troughs in all the paddocks everywhere. And they're all that through the farm, like linked up to we've got a ring of 50, and then we've got 25 mil coming off that, so real fast water system. And then that dosatron feeds all those troughs, and it's great because the farm's low on mag. When the cows start peaking out May, June time, you get some with grass staggers, and these jerseys literally, they're such like drama queens. They literally drop on the spot. You know, they just go down so fast. And then when they get mag really bad, they go like you kink over on their back legs like this. And you got hard job to walk, it's a nightmare. You've got to lift them up for about 3 or 4 days till they get their strength back. Like go down really hard, so it's a massive pain in the ass. So we do put plenty of mag in that time of year. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Christmas Eve. Me and Emma are milking down on our home farm, the relief milking team. Usually we're up on the spring unit on the 2448. On a Sunday we milk together. But today, Christmas Eve, I think it's Saturday, we're milking down on this paddock. So we're about 50 cows in, we milk about 4 sites. This is a tennis site, GEA Westphalia, it's about 10 years old. Tennis side, but 20 units, so 20 cows, 20 units. No swinging over, just when each side is finished, they go out and the other side comes in, you put them on. And then, so each side is individual. So we got Parliament in this parlour too, what's great, especially in that cold weather we had the other day. It was a lot warmer. We got the heaters, so I've done a video on the heaters in this parlour, so no freezing up in this parlour. No freezing up on the other parlour actually. But what you have got to do on that other swing over parlour is you've got to shake every last little bit of water out of those units when it's cold. Especially when it's windy and cold, because that wind goes right through that parlour. This parlour though is a completely sealed unit. You've got doors at either end, we've got a dairy door at the front and a door also what the cows go out to get out of the parlour. So real sealed, and you can leave it eating on all night if you want to. So here we are milking. These cows are milking really well. We've had a lot of calve in the last couple of months, so nearly 2/3 of the herd are calving in the last couple of months. So we're not block calving down there, it's all year round calving, but we are aiming for a spring and autumn 16-week calving pattern. So we'll never stop milking in this dairy, but we're trying to block them a little bit because we want to get as much milk as possible, but also because it's a wet farm and the cows coming for 6 months of the year, we want to be able to like calve cows like late summer and then push the milk through the winter. Right, this is me at the back of the parlour, Emma's at the front, just walking out, and here's out the collecting yard. There's cows waiting to come in. This is the collecting yard where the cows haven't been milked, so they're all waiting, bunched up ready to come in here. And that's the yard they go on out into the sheds. I'll give you a better view of that. That's the sheds there. So they go out into those sheds for the rest of the night. The cows here lean to there with fresh calved cows in. And anything what's dodgy, what we don't want to go in the cubicle shed. So if we got one we're bad for or anything like that, it'd go in there. The rest, very good set of buildings there because the doors all the way down through, and you can just open them up, and then the cows just come in the parlour, and then the cows go back out and back in there. So it works extremely well. We've got cake bin right at the back of the yard too, so we can have cake deliveries and that. No interference or noise. Scare the cows at all. But the pipe does come all the way along the top of that shed there and then into the parlour. So it's quite a long drag. But we're not actually feeding a lot of cake in this parlour now. Usually we feed by yield. Right, one side just walks out, 4 electric gates on this parlour, so the front gate shut and the back gate open. Here's some cows here. A lot bigger cows, 8,500 litres. Only getting between 1 and 3 kilos in the parlour. So we usually feed a lot of parlour, but this year we're not. I find they're racing in and out a lot better, and they're giving a lot more milk by just even down the barrier. But because we've got cows from 1 to 3, it's a flat rate across the board, so it's only 6 kilos down the barrier, and then a maximum of 3 down to 0 in the parlour. Got a cow wanted to find with a bit of dermatitis. So we've got an automatic foot bath, or press the button and wash the out. I'll show you that in a minute, but what I'm going to do there is just dump a bit of this on the cow's foot here. When we bought our last actually, what's happening is, we're like a new, whole new life for her, which is kind of market, probably picked up a bit of stress and got a bit of that dermatitis. This time of year, you get that dermy. Because what we call it here in Somerset is slurry hill, and then it's where like slurry gets on the back of the hill, and then it affects. It's got a bit of dermy in it. It gets into them and gets in the back of their skin and grows, gives them a bit of infection. So here we go. Not too bad on both her feet. dampen her milk a little bit though. She's going to give about 6-7 litres tonight. So she should be up around, you know, 30 litres a day. She can calve about like that. So when we have a cow fall out of block on the spring unit, the organic spring unit, what we do is we bring them down to this spot here. So only the good ones, anything more rubbish like barren that go on. But we do get some cows what don't get calved because they either give too much milk or for other reasons. It's not really the cow's fault. So we bring them down in this one here, and then here's one here, this one. And when, because they're up on the spring unit on their all grass system and not much cage, when they come down here, a completely different system where they're TMR fed and they go out to grass, but in the winter they're given a lot more stuff to get the milk. They milk extremely well. It's like they can starve on that organic unit of nutrients. So you come down here. Here's another one. We've got one either side. We just give a colossal amount of milk. So this one here is going to be like 30 litres a day. This one here, he's going to give, you know, he's going to give 15 litres this afternoon. Fairly, these two are biggish cows actually. It's a black and white cow. But this is the cow what we had here anyway. I don't see 44 cow. In this case, about 6 inches shorter. They're just shorter, stuffier animals. They're just as fat. This cow here, 833 though. Do you remember this 833, Emma?
Yeah.
Really nice cow that. He was in line with all the rest of the spring unit, and they come down on this farm and whoosh, give a lot of milk. So it does work well, bring them down. When I first originally bought them, I thought, oh, I'm gonna like pollute the herd with these Jersey crossbreds, but they do milk really well.